Hi everyone. Today I would like to talk about something that's been going on with kind of trying to understand what's going on with the Trump administration and the tariffs and all that. And this is not a commentary on whether this is a good idea with the tariffs or not. I'm just trying to figure out, as somebody who does work and research, although I am not in any form or shape as knowledgeable in economy or anything like that. That's why I took some time to study it and understand it. And it seems like that some of the things that's been happening comes out of straight out of the John Maynard Keynes, the whole tax idea. He called it. I'm actually reading his book, the Essential Keynes, which is a very interesting book. Here it is, right there. And the book, there's one section about the book that talks about the tariffs. And in 1930s, we know, Great Depression and everything. A lot of people are unemployed, and in Britain, especially at that time, a lot of people were unemployed. And he was trying to find a way, as an economist, he was trying to find a solution. What can we do to build the confidence, to employ people, and to keep the kind of the same standard of living without lowering the standards and all that? So he came up with this idea, what is it called? Revenue tariff. And he called it and I'm going to read it now. The tariff which I have in mind would include no discriminating protective taxes, but would cover as wide a field as possible at a flat rate, or perhaps two flat rates, each applicable to wide categories of goods. So here what he's talking about, he's proposing that solution to not to look at the budget of the British budget, not to take the money out of the budget, but rather to place tariffs on certain goods that are being imported into Great Britain in 1930s. And one thing that he says here, he says, it is certain that there is no other measure, all immediate consequences of which will be favorable and appropriate. The tariff which I have in mind would include, right, no discriminating protective taxes, right? No discriminating, meaning you might be charging a flat rate for this, for that, but there could be some exemptions, which is very interesting. And he would also give some exemptions based on what I'm reading. As wide field as possible, two flat rates, each applicable to the categories of goods. Rebates would be allowed in respect of imported material entering into exports, but raw material which makes up an important portion of the value of exports, such as wool and cotton, would be exempt. The amount of revenue to be aimed, it should be substantial, not less than 50 million pounds. And if possible, 75 million pounds. Right, so he's saying those, so then he provides an example as to what he's proposing to tax on. So he's talking about here a very interesting kind of what we are hearing today, and I'm just trying to understand where is these ideas coming from and all that. What he's saying so he gives an example how it is work in terms of the tariffs. For example, there might be import duties of 15% on all manufactured and semi-manufactured goods without exception, and of 5% on all food, stuff, and certain raw materials, while other raw materials would be exempt. I am prepared to maintain the effect of such duties on the cost of living would be insignificant, no greater than that existing fluctuation between 1 month and another. So he's trying to keep the same flow of the economy, the standard of living in Britain, without dipping into budget and keeping people unemployed. He also is saying that the consequences it would be to restore confidences in business and to eliminate any people who are unemployed or anything like that. And he's only suggesting to taking this route only because this is an emergency situation, because we had in 1929 a stock crash, and so the consequences of that, a lot of people just went broke overnight, and no pension, no jobs, no anything. So he's trying to kind of find a way that would be beneficial not just to England but to internationally, and we're talking about the 1930s. But this is used in emergency situations. To me it sounds like the economic advisors of the Trump administration seems like they're playing off the same book, and I could be wrong. I am not an economist. This is just something that I've been reading and studying, so I just thought I might share these ideas with you. It is an interesting economic idea. The Keynes, the economic John Maynard Keynes, he's suggesting this in terms of unemployment. What current administration seems like to be suggesting is that we have a unfair trade agreements with other countries, that we need to kind of make it more reciprocal or anything like that, and to also bring some jobs here in the country and all that, which is an interesting idea. I'm not gonna say whether that is good or bad, but I just wanted to see where I just kind of wanted to shed some light where these ideas of tariffs may have come from, and how this is playing out, almost 95 years later. Thank you.